Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
Welcome to the podcast Midweek Absolute Frank Skinner thing. And this is Frank Skinner. I'm here with Emily and Gareth.
Hello, Frank.
Oh, we're just sitting around chewing the fat, you know how it is. Chewing the fat as... where's my jingles?
During the cake, we've just been
I
eating
can't
cake.
believe it, my jingles are here. I can't work without my jingles. A bit like Santa Claus in
Is
that
Jingles
respect.
your butler?
Yeah, exactly. I like the
I
idea
can't
of
work without my Jingles.
an extremely camp bottler called Jingles. Jingles, can you warm my upper sheet? Speaking of campness, did you see that Danny LaRue's... You know Danny LaRue, the
I think
lady
I do.
impressionist? I believe his full name is Danny LaRue de Chocolat. His costumes were sold this week. Loads of them. Pantomime stuff and all these women's clothes and stuff. And they went for 40 grand. And I feel like I missed out.
Well, you did.
I would have liked a bit of Danny.
I can see you as a panto dame.
Well, the gayest thing I ever saw... Hold your breath.
I don't...
The nation holds its breath. I was at a Shirley Bassey concert.
That's pretty gay so far.
Yeah, already, I'm already well down. And she said, ladies and gentlemen, we have some stars in the audience. Well, actually, she said, ladies and gentlemen, we have some great stars in the audience tonight. And she introduced Danny LaRue, and he stood up and took the applause of the audience. And I thought, it doesn't get any camper than this. And I used to... Suddenly this has become a whole theatrical anecdote. So then there was the time the producer said to me, I was at the City Varieties Theatre in Leeds, and they used to have these picture-up advertising theatrical digs, and it was this bloke. It was something like Raymond Debonair, blah, blah, blah. And it had a picture of him, and the picture advertising his theatrical digs was him and Danny LaRue both holding a glass of champagne up to camera. I so wanted to stay there, even though there'd be a price to pay.
I bet the glass as well was from one of those garages where they used to do promotions in the 80s and give you a free champagne glass. I bet it was.
I heard a story about he was going to do a gig, Danny LaRue, and he said he has to bring his dog with him. He obviously had one of them little dogs.
Oh, of course he did.
And so they said yes, and then when they found the hotel... the hotel said, sorry, we can't have dogs. We can't make exceptions for whoever. So some poor person who worked in the office had to phone Danny LaRue and tell him he couldn't bring the dog. And Danny LaRue just said, no dog, no Danny. And that was it. He didn't do the gig. I've used variations on that many times.
Oh, I enjoyed that.
Yes, of course, I can only do things that begin with F with my name. And
So, Gareth, what were you banging on about this morning? About McDonald's, you were telling me something.
Yes, they've
do you
started...
two speak off air?
Sometimes.
Don't stop that now.
they've started a GCSE for McDonald's now. Or you can do work experience at McDonald's
Right.
For 10 days, and it counts as equivalent of a B grade GCSE.
Has it replaced the little gold stars, what they used to have on their shirts?
The little golden arches, it is.
No, I think they continue, but like as a school person, you can have a little bit of time at McDonald's and earn a qualification.
What, so you get a
Blimey.
GCSE for flipping burgers? Oh,
Yes.
my God.
You have to go on the drive-through as well.
Didn't you work there?
I did. I worked at McDonald's for about a year.
I
yeah.
did as well.
You did?
Did I? Hell.
Oh, how could I have even thought for a second?
I went there once, though. Anyway,
So what was it like?
You knew old McDonald's, who owned a lot of land.
had a lovely farm, actually. Cirencester.
Are you suggesting that she knows old MacDonald? Oh, too late. It's the Triffids, Steve. You see, my jingles are here, but they're not here. So we're having a technical nightmare.
So, tell us about this extraordinary experience.
Yeah, I worked there. I was a McDonald's.
Well, that's a great
person.
story.
Gathered by the fireside, children.
Again, it's right up there with Sir Gawain and the Green Knight. What happened? Was it good?
Gareth is a Knight of the Round Table. That's true, Sir Gareth. But yeah, so I worked there. There's no story involved. I worked there and then I stopped
Sir
working
Gareth
there.
don't.
There was no narrative.
Yeah,
there was
but
no narrative.
Gareth, you
of my time
don't.
at
You have to
McDonald's.
explain. You saying I worked there. What did it involve? Did you have to cook?
I was mostly they put the girls, the pretty girls, on the front where the tills are.
Those are the
Right.
pretty girls?
Yes, they.
Wowzer.
Honestly, they are the pretty girls. And then the freaks they put on the grill.
Oh.
Were you on the grill?
I
How
was
was
on the
it?
grill?
On the grill, yeah.
That'd be worth seeing.
Yeah,
That must bring those spots up to a head.
yeah.
Did you make the
Really good.
shakes?
No, you just put you get a big plastic bag, a sealed plastic bag.
I don't believe you
full
work
of
there. It
the
sounds
milk.
made up.
What, a plastic bag?
Plastic bag of milk, did you say?
Yeah, and
Plastic
you
bag
pour it
of
in the
milk.
back of the machine. And yeah, and I was rubbish. I was absolutely rubbish working there. I got no stars. I worked there for a year and didn't get a star. I think I might have earned a star, but they never gave me it.
The
But
people
I
keep
only
saying,
got
I'll have a
one.
cheeseburger. Hello, a cheeseburger?
Can I find
Hello?
out? Can it get any more pathetic than saying, I think I earned a star, but they didn't give it to me? You didn't get a star. Don't come like I should have got one. What kind of some sort of post-McDonald's angst? It's too late. You had the chance to get a star. You blew it.
I had one moment where there was a glimmer of possibility that I'd be a truly successful McDonald's worker when the franchisee, the man who owned that particular branch of McDonald's, Wayne his name was,
Oh.
he spent time with us on the grill. And
Did he?
I was rubbish. So
Everyone was hanging out around the grill. All
was-
about the grill this season.
he was working alongside me, as you know, because it's part of the ethos. Work together with the staff, and he saw I was rubbish, and he said, "I'm gonna stick with you, and I'm gonna train you, and you are going
Did
to
he
be
stutter?
you are going to be you are going to be brilliant at this. I swear to it."
That was a fabulous moment, that.
I never saw
That's
him
like
again.
that bit in Rocky when he runs up to the top of the stairs.
Yeah.
You never saw him again?
No, never saw him again.
Oh.
And that's where I think my life took a turn.
Well, I think it did. I wonder why you didn't pursue that promise.
Well, it makes a girl think, really.
Yeah.
Can I just ask, did the outfits, did you break out? Because they're quite nylon-y, aren't they?
Did I break out in a skin condition?
Yeah.
No more than normal.
Oh, okay.
I don't think nylon causes a skin condition, does it?
Oh, it does when you've got sensitive skin like mine. I can't wear man-made fibres.
Yeah, I doubt you've been anywhere near nylon. Maybe nylons,
Oh, yeah.
eh? See what I...
So we all know about McDonald's now.
Yeah. Well, I think we do after that epic yarn. Someone once sent in an email to the show and said I talk about my girlfriend too much, but sorry. One thing that, as I pointed out, is that she often says the wrong. She says phrases, well-known phrases, but she gets them wrong, and I find it a great delight. Mainly because it's definitely accidental, and that's what I love about it. And she was talking about Mother's Day. And she said, me and Rachel want to do something, her sister, want to do something special for Mother's Day. I don't know, we're going to have to get our thinking gloves on. And I thought, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't
I'd love
mind
a
some
thinking
thinking
glove.
gloves. I wouldn't mind. See, if you got some, you need to... Do you remember the other week we were reading the paper and there was a kid who'd been forced to sit under the thinking tree in a class? And again, I think an area or an article of clothing that you put on for the purpose of thinking would be quite a good idea. I once interviewed Jermaine Greer, and she lives out in the country, and she told me that she puts aside 3 hours a day for thinking.
Does she?
Just for actual thinking. She just sits and she thinks for 3 hours.
Thinking, about cooking,
Just-
knitting, doing the washing,
You know how bad it is.
girl stuff.
Yeah, she just thinks. Oh, she didn't say that. Yeah, she thinks a lot about Peter Andre. And I'm thinking I might get an article of clothing or an area of the flat, which is my thinking thing.
Like a thinking cap.
Like a thinking cap, which I think was probably what the phrase she was after when she said it. But I think thinking gloves I like better because you
Oh, I
stare at
love a thinking glove.
Yeah.
Long black leather.
Well, I wasn't thinking that. I was
Oh.
thinking those fingerless.
Oh, you've more Fagin you've
More
gone on.
Fagin.
Yeah, I was
on
thinking
Fagin again.
more sort of Albert Steptoe.
Yeah.
Don't please me, Harold. That's. But obviously, I have to think a little bit beyond that. But yeah, so thinking clothes. That's what I think. What about
The Chinese woman with the horn on her
the
head.
Chinese woman with a horn on her head? I mean, come on. This woman, she's 101, this Chinese woman.
She looks a bit like Marky Smith. Don't take it the wrong way, Frank, but she does.
Okay. And, well, she's 101, for goodness sake.
Oh, exactly.
And she's grown a 6-centimetre horn out of her head. And she's got another one just coming through. On
Not the other
side.
end.
Yeah, no, not the other end.
sorry.
Oh, no, that'd be good for carrying her.
But when you say she's grown, you make it sound like she's cultivated it and there was some element of choice involved.
No, there is an illness, apparently, which causes horns to grow. But usually they don't even break the skin, they just get like a little lump on the skin. But hers it's like a black horn.
Proper horn.
It's the sort of thing that she could wear a hat which would help to cover it, and if it got a bit hot, she could hang the hat on the horn.
Yeah. It's Narnian, it is.
Is it?
Yeah, well, it looks like it could be a character in Narnia.
Oh, I thought
along
you
with
meant it look like a banana.
along with Marco in The Philandering Woodland Elf.
Yes. But she's going. It said the family are quite. Oh, there's a picture of her in the paper posing to show off her horn, as it were. And of course, being 101, her hair is very thin now and silvery, so she can't even comb it forward to cut. That's what I'd do. I'd have a quiff that sort of sat on the horn, that used it as a kind of support. There was a man. Anyway, she's. Have I ever told you about the Enigma?
No.
The Enigma was a man who he grew horns. What he did, he had them. He had coral transplanted on his skull so it would grow, and he grew coral
Really?
horns. He was in the Jim Rose circus, that sort of freak show that's going around.
Oh, okay.
And he was called the Enigma. And I think his first name was Martin, I think.
Martin Enigma.
I was staying at the same hotel as him in Melbourne, and I noticed he'd actually signed the book Martin Enigma. And not only did he have the horns, but he was tattooed with a jigsaw design all over his body. So he had, it was just like he was an
really?
enormous
I've seen
jigsaw.
that guy with the jigsaw.
Yeah.
Was there a pattern on the jigsaw, like a Henry VIII oil painting?
No.
Or
No,
just his
he
body?
was. It was him. He
Oh,
was the
okay.
picture on the. But we got into a lift, me, him, and this Australian woman and her child, and this child was looking up at Martin Enigma, and I thought, what is it? He's going to say something, and he turned to his mum and said, "He's like a puzzle." That was certainly true. But the Chinese woman is leaning on a farming implement.
Is she?
What is it with the Chinese peasantry and farming implements? They can't have a photo taken without having a hoe or something. I don't mean. No, without having a hoe or some sort of rake with them. I mean, are they forever? Could she not? I mean, she's 101.
Also,
she must get a day
Can I be
off.
honest? If the world's press were coming up to take a photo of me, I would have made a bit of an effort with my clothes.
Well, exactly. I
mean,
suppose once
although-
you've got a 6
yeah.
centimetre horn, you might start to give up on your appearance generally.
I know, but wash the anorak. Comb the silvery hair. Take the bobbles out of the scarf.
What worried me
Polish
is
the horn.
there was fingerprints on the ankles where clearly they'd been using her for ploughing since the horn had grown, and I thought that was wrong. Well, maybe just for making holes for the seeds.
Let's cut to the chase, though. Right? She is clearly the devil.
Can I just say, I don't think that should be your catchphrase.
Well, so far I've got Saturday morning, which is no good for anything else apart from Saturday mornings.
What about Johnny Cash's catchphrase, which was, "Hello, I'm Johnny Cash"?
That is good.
Well, it was never plagiarised.
No good for me.
Exactly. You could try, "Hello, I'm Gareth Richards."
I think I have tried that.
Did it work? Did they all laugh and
Didn't get a
cheer?
laugh.
Oh, they haven't picked up on it yet as a catchphrase.
Did
They need to
people
use-
laugh when Johnny Cash did it, though? Or they thought,
They
oh, good,
cheered.
it's Johnny Cash.
They did cheer because that was what he always
Pleased.
said. Anyway.
He should have said,
What was
"Here's
it-
Johnny."
Are you cut into the
I was
chase
saying
yet?
that what the elephant in the room is that this old Chinese lady is clearly Satan. She's growing horns. She's the devil.
Yeah.
What have we got
Out
to
of
say about
context, that could sound quite bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying because she's Chinese, I'm saying because she's got horns growing out of her head.
No, I think horns is and I haven't even got to the pointy tail element. I was saving that for the
None of
for
my
next week.
none of my tails have points.
So now you admit it, at last. You heard it here, gentlemen. Gentlemen? What kind of a podcast is this? Where's the dancers? Come on. Oh, baby. Oh, man. No wonder I'm... Oh, yes. I was going to say no wonder I'm going grey, but did you read that John Barrowman, a man who I've always loved John Barrowman. I'll tell you why.
Love Barrowman.
I'll tell you what I love about John Barrowman. It's a bit of a roundabout reason for loving anyone, but when I was... a kid, there used to be a lot of West Indian kids lived in our around by us, and this was in the days when West Indian kids, because they hadn't been in England that long, or their parents hadn't, they still talked in a West Indian accent and used West Indian terms. It's all sort of changed, and white kids and black kids have sort of met in the middle in a sort of unsatisfactory youth talk. But the West Indian kids had fabulous... Like, we had a woman who worked in the paper shop who always... called Trudy, who always wore a purple jumper, and they used to call her Trudy La Purple, which I really liked. It's poetry.
Yeah.
But I had a very thin friend who was about 6'1" and weighed about 6 stone, and we called him Beanpole and Skinny and all the things. And then one of these kids said to me, he said, "I see your friend last night, Narrow Man."
Narrow Man.
And a narrow man is such a fabulous term for a thin person. Whenever I think of John Barrowman, I always think of John Narrowman for that reason. So that's why I love John Barrowman. It's nothing to do with his tight little bottom, if that's what anyone was thinking. Who heard
Although
this.
I do love that.
Oh, it is. Goodness me. Honestly, you couldn't get a tube ticket
I
between
love
his
that.
buttons.
When I met him and I was talking
God
about
knows
designer
I've tried.
clothes.
On the contrary.
Do you want to know? Yes, I did meet John Barrowman. Sorry, it wasn't Raymond Blanc. When I met John Barrowman and I was saying, "Oh, do you wear expensive clothes?" He was going, "Are you kidding? TK Maxx, Primark." He literally started showing me the labels on everything he was wearing.
Really? And he went, I can't believe that. He must be a very rich man.
No, he goes to TK Maxx and Primark, but he mixes with expensive labels. That's the secret.
Anyway, the story is his hair is completely white.
Apparently so.
And obviously he dyes it.
He showed it because he was on Alan Carr's show, and he showed he's doing Desperate Housewives, and they're asking him to grow it grey, like it.
And is he going to do that?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, because he said that his boyfriend had said to him that he wasn't ready
His
for it.
what?
His boyfriend said he wasn't ready for it.
I had a terrible situation once. I was talking to this lesbian. It was a woman I really liked, and she said to me, I was just talking to my girlfriend about it, and I honestly didn't hear what she said. So she said talking to my girlfriend. I said, "Talking to your what?" As if you said what? And she said, well, my girlfriend. And then I thought, oh, God, now she thinks I balked at the word girlfriend. And it was a very awkward situation, which I could only end with one of my mock faints.
Oh, yeah.
Which I've been close to a couple of times already in this podcast, but I thought, luckily, I held back, and it was good. And also, on the white hair theme, Chris Evans was in the paper this week, completely white.
Oh, he looks like Charlie Drake these days. What's happened to him?
Completely white. And then the next day, he was making a public appearance, and he was ginger again. Now, this is a man who is deliberately, I say deliberately, dyeing his hair ginger in a sort of crazy...
Oh, fine, that's true. That's extraordinary.
Yeah.
Because grey hair is supposed to be a sign of wisdom and...
You'd rather
No,
have grey than ginger.
I think it means you're hurtling headlong towards the grave.
Oh, right.
But you'd rather have that than Chris Evans' real hair, wouldn't you?
Ginger has other connotations.
Yeah.
Apart from Windsor.
Oh, from Windsor.
Yeah, we'll see. Are you moving to some sort of Prince Harry comment here? We've got ginger, we've got Windsor, we got pig iron. Oh. Well, I don't think we've had a Raymond Blanc anecdote this week from... Gareth name drops a lot, but it's always the same name. Do you have any Raymond Blanc news?
Well, I've only met Raymond Blanc the once, but I did remember
Hold on,
something
hold
I
on.
had.
Yeah, but don't let
Hold
that
on.
stop you.
Let's give this its proper, it's what it deserves.
Well, I've only met Raymond Blanc the once, but I did remember something I hadn't told you about it yet.
Oh, can't
go on.
wait.
Well, they were in the cafe, and it was a cafe that
Oh, I love an anecdote that begins
Soft
in the
cake.
cafe.
Go on.
the Maison Blanc
Yeah.
Yeah.
in Winchester.
No.
I'm sorting some sort of sponsorship deal out. It's going to be big. There were two ladies
I
there.
think
must
it'll
have
be
been-
Petit Peu myself.
There was two ladies who must have been in their
You
mid-20s.
told us this last time.
No, that was
right?
the old ladies and the Harvey Clare.
Oh, okay.
This is the two slightly younger ladies and the lemon tarts.
Well, I don't know. So there's three of
It's
them.
like Agatha Christie mysteries.
They bought a lemon tart, and they got a whole one between them. Like you.
It's a Gareth Jones.
You
I
shouldn't-
know there's a Gareth
You
Jones coming
shouldn't
in.
eat it, all yourself. And they were going, oh no, we're eating all of this. It's awful of us, isn't it? We're awful for doing this, but it's okay. It's lemon, it's fruit. It's like probably one of our 5 a day. And Raymond Blanc,
Hold it.
Raymond Blanc leant over and said, "Sorry, ladies, I could not help overhearing you. I have to tell you that the desserts here, none of them are good for you. They all have butter. They all have butter or they have cream. The lemon, it is just for taste. You are not getting a good supply of fruit here, but it is a treat."
Brutally honest, Raymond. Always
Raymond.
brutally honest. Well, I respect him for that.
Yeah,
though.
there's integrity.
So
there.
what happened? Did he turn on his heel?
Well, yeah, and then he just went back, and we went into the back room and got off with each other.
How, I'm leaving that. How big was this tart? I hope no one's tuning at that moment.
Well, I reckon that if you ordered a slice of tart, you would have got a sixth of it, if you imagine that.
Right, and two of them were
And
eating.
two of them were wolfing it down like a...
Blimey. Will there be more
Wolf.
tales from Raymond
Can we have an
Blanc's
outro?
cafe?
Can we have an outro?
Well, I don't want to over-egg the pudding, as Raymond would say if he was here. Well, obviously he'd say, the way they do. Oh, well, I love that story. I want to like, they're all from the same visit. They're not even different, Raymond Blanc anecdotes. You've broken it down. That's...
I may do an album. I may do a spoken word album. Gareth
think-
Richards,
I
when
think
I
that's an
met Raymond
autobiography.
Blanc.
Yeah.
Gareth Richards in the Maison Blanc.
Can't even say your name. Gareth Richards.
Mont Blanc, you could
Yeah.
call it.
Yeah, Mont Blanc.
Oh, dear.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Now we've all said, oh dear. Can we just leave it there?
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.